Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, CDSE family and GWT. Welcome to today's call with Sanaz, and my name's Rob Pampling, diplomat with the Global Wealth Trade, and it's my absolute pleasure and privilege again to be host of the month. This is my last CDSE hosting call that I'm hosting, and I've thoroughly enjoyed being the host for the month for August. So today we've got Sanaz again on the call, giving us some updates on the new Phase 6 introduction of the new Phase 6 part of the business, and Sanaz has already told me that she's got some exciting stuff to share with us today. So, Sanaz, are you there?
I'm right here, Robert. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, coming through loud and clear. Take it away.
Beautiful. Well, a good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Robert, just the show. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. You've got the welcome payment processing on the screen at the moment.
Perfect. I just want to make sure that we had it. I'm on a new computer tonight, so I just want to make sure that everything was all fine and giddy to go. So a good evening to all of our amazing luxury consultants, of course, our exclusive CDSE members. This would, of course, be any of our diplomats, ambassadors, regionals, nationals. I want to congratulate you for making it as a part of the CDSE elite group. Of course, this elite group gets a chance to be able to hear about exclusive training from the corporate, gets a chance to be able to hear some of the amazing things that we are doing. So I'm super excited to be with all of you tonight. I'm actually still working here away at the office with our founder and CEO, and we're going to be doing the call together tonight with our founder. For those of you who were on the call last night, I'm sure you heard the excitement of both of us on the call last night for all of the things that we had to share tonight. And tonight is no different. Tonight we have an amazing and exciting call for all of you. So I want to welcome all of our exclusive members. Tonight we're going to be talking about payment processing. So as you all know, Phase 6 is the new beginning of all of the new things that are coming to be with our company. It's about duplication, it's about simplicity, it's about making every transition super easy for all of our luxury consultants. So we wanted to talk to our CDSE members. We wanted to share with them some very, very important training for our payment processing. This way you can properly and appropriately, of course, answer questions for your team, but most importantly, during the new phase of doing our diamond promotions, IAs, product orders, whatever it is, we wanted to make the payment processing a system that is not going to be duplicatable, but you can understand the logic behind it. Now, if you do have questions, of course, you can always raise your hand afterwards, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So I just want to do a sound check. I want to make sure that we do have our founder and CEO on the call, because he's supposed to be calling in from his office. Ramin, can we just do a sound check, please? Ramin, sir, are you on the call with us? Okay, so we are going to be getting our founder and CEO on, but I just want to do one more time a double check. Ramin, sir, or do we have you on the call?
Right, Sanaz, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure we had your sound here.
Terrific. First of all, again, Robert showing leadership. Love it. I can tell you this young man has now become part of, on my map, a part of one of the main leaders in the down under area. I mean, it's pretty late or early over there right now. He's been on it perfectly, showing leadership, taking care of this call for all of you. You see him on Facebook, send him a quick shout out. People who do this Ambassador of the Month, this type of work, make sure, remember, they're doing the work for all of you. So you want to make sure you recognize that. Quick shout out. Thanks, Robert, for what you do, because he's taking his time to do what he's doing so you and your people can get trained. So again, thank you, Robert. What we want to do, again, in this Phase 6 is about simplicity and momentum. And when we talk about it, it's decade number 2. Every part, we're looking at every part to make our business faster, easier, better experience, so forth. We've even gone as far as We go to every department. We have these meetings. Okay, what are we doing great? What's the challenges? What's the feedback you're getting? How can we get better? And this is why we come up with all these great solutions to make sure your business continues to get better over and over and over again. And tonight's Sanaz is about merchant systems. It's about being able to do the transaction and as easy as possible. Now, this idea of payment processing is an extremely complex one, because especially for a company like ours, we're so global, and we have an amazing relationship with our banks. We're A+ customer to them. We have a 10-year track record. Our chargeback ratio is actually less than retail outlets because we have an amazing business. That said, we got to be careful. We know other companies out there who've got in trouble. Recently, you heard a company called Jeunesse. They lost their merchant system in Europe. Again, I guess they must be having a lot of problems with them, I'm guessing. So what we want to do is make sure is that we first of all protect the golden goose, which is our merchant systems that provides you an opportunity to do business globally and easily. So it's there to serve you. At the same time, we want to make sure we protect it from some predators. Now, in our history, we've been very fortunate. We only had one episode that someone tried to hurt us through fraudulent activities, and that was last year. And I guess it was 80 attempts, and only one got through. Our people did an amazing job. So again, we do protect the system to protect you, your credit cards. Nobody wants to be frauded. You don't want to be frauded. So we have a fine balance between creating something that is provides you with a good experience, at the same time protecting you, your account, your credit cards, and everyone else's credit cards. So it's a very tough balance. We've done an amazing job. We're A+ rated customer to our suppliers. We'd like to maintain that in decade number 2. So we've come up with some solutions that make sure tonight you're going to love, because you're going to love what you're going to hear. At the same time, we want to make sure you understand what we go through from our end, and you do your part to make sure that we enjoy the amazing systems that we have in this company.
Absolutely, Ramin. You know, I'm so revved up with what we're going to share with everyone tonight. And of course, you know what, our CDSE members, as I was mentioning on the call earlier on, are our exclusive members. These are the folks that are building, and you know what, we want to help them. We want to be able to make the transition very smooth and duplicatable and systematic. So let's get the call started, because you know what, we know that phase 6 is absolutely insane. And of course, it's all about simplifying, and most importantly, all about momentum. All right. So the first topic, Ramin, that we want to talk about, the reasons why your payments are possibly declining. As you mentioned, we've been having lots of meetings with our staff, talking about tickets, talking about feedback, and of course, one of the things that we wanted to be able to do is have the securities in place based on what you talked a little bit earlier. But of course, the reason some of the payments that are declining is that the system is designed for your security. What does that mean? Well, Ramin, maybe we want to go through some of the reasons your payment is being stopped. So again, you want to make sure you're taking notes. You want to make sure you're duplicating this with your team. You want to make sure you're properly training your team. But here's some reasons why your payment may be stopped when you're trying to enter a brand new Diamond LC, or maybe you're trying to do a product order, or maybe even possibly you're trying to do a retail order or a GC order. Number one, the number one cause could be entering a valid credit card number correctly. So you got to make sure that you're basically, you know, going through the numbers one by one, entering the digits very, very carefully. The second one is entering the CVV incorrectly, or it's either missing. If you look at the back of any credit card, there is either a 3 or 4 digit CVV code, and it is very important to make sure that once you are doing a checkout, that you basically put your CVV code on the back. As well, the next topic could be that the expiration date has passed. So that means the credit card has become expired, or basically it's already past the expiration date. Next is that you don't, you have insufficient funds, which means that you do not have enough money on your credit card, which you need to make sure that you call your, of course, bank and make sure that the funds are there, or make a payment to make sure that there's enough funds available. And last but not least, this is an important one. It is an address verification system that basically is verifying that your address is matching the credit card billing, your credit card statement. So Ramin, I'm going to get you to share a couple of words here as well.
Well, these are just basically quick crash course of what credit card, basics of the credit card. There could be other reasons why the credit card would decline. You can have everything right here and still decline because you happen to be, your credit card company might be new, your credit card might be new, and the credit card company is kind of get nervous when they see big purchases. You may be out of location, you place an order from somewhere else, and you've all gone to a different country and your credit card just frozen for no reason. Again, MasterCard and Visa, they're extremely careful with that. So they pretty much look for excuses to block anything. So it's really important that you learn tonight what you could do to minimize any distraction, because if you do things properly, you'll never have a problem, even if you do a quick fix. But if some things are not right, for example, what we talk about, the biggest problem we have in our company, it's actually the last one, which is AVS, which is basically address verification process. So if your address is not your billing address that the MasterCard company knows is not what you put on your order, it's an automatically rejection, because MasterCard or Visa, they automatically assume that it's fraud. You got to understand, when the credit card declines, it's not our system that declines, because we just got a machine that's connected to MasterCard or Visa. So it is the MasterCard or Visa rules that dictate every transaction. So if everything goes through, and all we do is just process the order and follow the information to MasterCard and Visa, and we wait for them to respond with an authorization or decline. So when they respond, that's when the transaction is complete. Either it's a decline or it is an authorization. So it's important when we submit the information which comes from you, when we submit the information which comes from you to MasterCard or Visa through our machines, the merchant system does that, that information is as accurate as it can be. Because if there's something wrong, the systems are designed, MasterCard and Visa are designed to decline that transaction. Now, though we do have some flexibility with some systems. Like we have multiple merchant systems, and for certain things, we have more flexibility than other things. For example, when it comes down to the initial order, the product purchases or initial package purchases, those require much tougher regulations than things that are automated, for example, like your IA. Why? Because your IA, you have a history. It goes through on a monthly basis, the same information, so the machine, MasterCard, Visa, they understand it's the same person because it's repeated. Your annual renewal, again, it's repeated over and over again. But when it comes down to your package, that's your very first purchase, those goes under different guidelines. That's why sometimes people would say, well, how come, for example, I have no problem with my IA going through, but if I go to place an order, then there's a problem. Well, the two separate systems. Your IA goes through with a completely new processing program that does what's called automated. It repeats the same payments over and over again. So that's different guidelines. But when you go place an order, because it's a one-time order, that goes through a completely new company, new process system, and has different guidelines. And companies that provide these type of services, they also have their own rules as well. So, and they all differ from one each other. What we've done now, we've gone over, I spent a lot of time on this with our different departments, with Jonathan's team and our product department team, and we've decided, okay, how can we do our part as much as we can to make the process as easy as possible, and that's what we're going to share with you tonight.
Great, Ramin. So some of the stuff that we just talked about was sorry, there was an echo there, an address verification system. And of course, this goes back to the exact same thing that we were talking about earlier. So there's a universal banking system that's designed to protect cardholders from fraud. This system basically kicks in one of two ways. Number one, if the incomplete address is missing either an apartment number, missing a postal code or a zip code, missing the proper spelling of a street name, or missing the city or the country, of course the ABS will kick in. Excuse me, my apologies. My slide went backwards. Or the second part of it is it could be an incorrect address because of incorrect postal code error. There could be a space between, of course, postal code. That applies, of course, for Canada. And if there's a text capitalization error. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to this. And last but not least, the abbreviation error, which is a street, which is an abbreviation versus fully spelling out the word street. So one of the most important things is whatever you have as your proper billing address, that is for your credit card, is basically what is going to come into effect. So it is very important to make sure that you're following the same system as your credit card bill. Okay.
So just to be clear on this, Sanaz, it's important that, for example, when it says in Canada, for example, a postal code, it's a K2A6B2, well, the first 3 digits, there's a space in between. If you don't put that space in, then it's going to decline. Because softwares are not human beings. Softwares are designed a certain way. If they don't receive the information a certain way, they're going to decline. Now, again, in these type of cases, what we've done is get our programming team to design the new software the way that we try to avoid some of these mistakes, that even if you tried not to put in the space, it would automatically does it for you. So some certain things that we have control over, we're working on it, our IT team, so even if you make a mistake in Canada for your zip code, it automatically will correct it. But we can't do that with everything. We don't know what your address is, proper address is, especially some countries. I know in my country, an actual address is, number this across from the butchery in the corner of this, next to the bank of this. It's actually a part of an address. Well, this is a major challenges that MasterCard and Visa has as well, because some countries, the address are very strange for the system that North America has. So what we could do is do as much as we can to make sure to make life easier for the software and merchant companies. The U.S. zip code is no problem with that, but something could be as simple as what Sanaz talked about. You could say street, and that's how you registered your card. You actually spelled it out. But when you go to place the order, you just put ST, and MasterCard and Visa can reject that. It doesn't mean it always would, but it can reject that. So we're giving you a bit of a crash course of how these systems operate, so you can teach that to your people. If somebody calls and says we're having a problem, at least you know some of the reasons why these problems are existing.
Absolutely, Ramin. So please, please, please make sure that what you have entered as an address must match your bank records exactly. If it's in capital, it must be in capital. If if there's an abbreviation, you got to follow the same thing when it comes to signing up an LC. So, let's say that you're sitting down and you're doing a diamond package with a brand new LC, and that it gives you the, the ABS code error that, it's being declined, it's not going through. These are some of the reasons. So capture screen this, make sure you're training this to your team, make sure you have this as a note, make sure you have this as a picture in your phone so that when you are in fact helping someone to basically do an application, and if it's stopping you, these are some of the reasons why, important reasons I should say, why your payment is being declined. All right, so the next one, to simplify the process. Ramin, this is the part where you've become, you're taking a big leap in faith in our LCs, and of course, to simplify the process, we are doing some amazing and new things for Canada and the United States, where we are adjusting our system settings so that the ABS is less sensitive. What does that mean? If ABS passes no charge authorization, it will be basically going through our GWT system. So for any order that is over $1,000 diamond pricing, manual checks will be occurring by our GWT CSR members, such as Marla and their team. And if the order is under $1,000, it will automatically be released where you won't need a charge authorization. But of course, our staff at the office will be doing a manual check. Ramin?
Okay, so basically the way it is right now, just so it'll be a bit more clear on this, right now the system is designed that any mistake, it would send the information the way you submit it. It would send that to MasterCard and Visa, wait for a response. And if you have submitted it wrong, it's going to come back as declined. So what we're doing is setting up some intelligence within our system, some regular mistakes that people do, that it automatically will correct it before it sends it to MasterCard and Visa. So we can eliminate vast majority of its declines that are coming out. So we're not going to share online what exactly we're doing, obviously part of the security. We don't want anyone to know. So give them some, that this information getting out, the recording getting out, that people know exactly how to get on the system. But what we're doing is that working with our programmers, setting the system a little bit less sensitive. And it's going to make a big difference because vast majority of your orders that decline, it's not because it's a bad card. It's because somebody made a mistake in the entry. They forgot they got the card 5 years ago. They forgot exactly what they put on the address 5 years ago. So now when they go to place the order and it's coming back as a decline. So we're actually doing some pretty cool things that, the system will accept unless you make a major mistake. Okay, you still need the information, so don't get me wrong. But unless you make a major mistake, the system will accept it. And if it doesn't matter if it's your first or not in Canada, US, once the AVS approves, you no longer need a charge authorization form. Because right now, as you know, you need a charge authorization form with your first order. Well, you're no longer going to need that. However, we're still going to make sure we stay bulletproof. If the order is over $1,000, then what we're going to do, instead of asking for a charge authorization form, that's what you get right now. And it could be, difficult for some people around the world to be able to print it and fill it up, and they don't have a scanner to scan and fax it back and so forth. So we're eliminating that from Canada and US. What we're doing is that if it's over $1,000, you're going to get a phone call. The card holder will get a quick phone call from us, and the recipient gets a quick phone call from us. If it's the same people, then you only get one phone call, just to make sure your card is protected, just to make sure it is your order. Because we do catch quite a lot of attempts. Our people are very smart on these things, and in order to continue that way, we're going to make not take any shortcuts. What we've done though, instead of sending you, having you go download the charge authorization form and then fill it up and fax it and all of this, and I know some people like to share credit cards, especially for home parties and friends and family, all that stuff. We're just going to make a quick phone call, so it's going to be very quick for us, quick for you. Is this your order? Yes, it is. Your card is done. You no longer need to do the charge authorization form for Canada and USA. If it's under $1,000, it's an automatic release as long as you pass AVS. In other words, the address of the billing and shipping address are the same. The credit card address and the shipping address is the same. Under $1,000, you don't even get, it's automatically will go through first order or not. You don't need to do the charge authorization form anymore. And if it's over $1,000, you get a quick phone call. So again, it's a lot easier now for Canada, US. You no longer need to worry about the charge authorization form for your first order or any other orders that's over the limit.
Fantastic, Ramin. Thank you. All right. So what is a manual check? Of course, as you heard our founder talk about this, when our staff at the office, they're going to be doing a manual check at the office, which means that the staff will be calling the credit card holder, of course, the shipment recipient, or the GWT account holder if required. So it's important to understand that if you are getting a phone call or your team is getting a phone call from our staff, they are doing a manual check, We just want to verify the payment. It's much the same like when you get your responses or you get a courtesy call. This is going to be similar to a courtesy call for our staff to be able to call you to, of course, speed up the process of your order.
So again, manual check replaces, in most cases, not in all cases, but in most cases, will replace the charge authorization form that we have in place right now.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, the next one is, of course, if the billing and the shipping address do not match, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to automatically perform a manual check as a courtesy. We're going to look at the past order history. We are going to look at the history of the LC. And of course, GWT will call the credit card holder and account holder to confirm the purchase, as I mentioned earlier on. And of course, payments from Zenith account. This, of course, is from our Nigerian accounts that is already deposited into our Zenith Bank. There will be no checks in that because, of course, what we're doing is we're just always looking for any suspicious activity. So sometimes you have to understand the billing, the shipping, the phone number, the email, everything is different, and those are the ones that we are going to be basically pulling out of the pile and doing an audit for, just so you understand.
Well, the reason why this happens is that sometimes people order and ship it to a different address, and that's fine. It's normal. We just want to make sure we protect you, make your life a lot easier with the charge authorization form. So if you have a situation where the billing address is different than the shipping address, and it happens a lot in our business. For example, we have some Nigerian LCs who send the product to the United States to be rerouted. We have Caribbean LCs that will send it to Miami to be rerouted. Those type of situation. Again, what we're doing is, though, instead of doing the charge authorization form, again, it's still in place for certain scenarios, but for most scenarios, what our people are doing is that our staff, they're doing it upon themselves, they do some manual check, they look at the person's history, was this pattern of ordering normal? If it's normal, then it's the right person. You know, so we look at the past orders. If someone's been on IA for 12 months and placing an order, well, they're obviously our own. It is not a fraud case. It is one of our own LCs. So there are several different things that they will do. We call a manual check to make sure that the order is legit, everyone is protected, and they're going to send it. With regard to Zenith Bank, well, there's no credit card transaction there at all. It's just basically cash in the bank account. There's no reason to check on that. So that's the goal. But our people, basically, we want to make your life a lot easier. We have with the changes tonight. It made your life so much easier. We anticipate about 90% of the credit card charges that used to not go through for some mistake that the LC had done now will go through, because what we've done, we're not getting to details, is significant. However, we always are looking for suspicious. So if somebody's new, for example, they came to the diamond and they go place a big diamond, don't be surprised that we do a manual check, and if something doesn't come out right, that we ask for the charge authorization form. But, so that's still there. However, I would have to say about 90% of the transactions that was asking for the charge authorization form is no longer needed, and it's done by our staff at the office.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for clarifying that. And of course, outside of Canada and USA, GWT will automatically perform manual checks. Past orders, order history, of course, we've already covered, you know, when it comes to if there's no matches for AVS, GWT will call the credit card holder to be able to confirm. Okay, so Ramin, let's cover a little bit reasons why your order will not finalize, because of course this is the one question that we got and we want to be able to assist our LCs. Now, GWT charge authorization form was originally created that any LC placing an order for the very first time, they would in fact receive a GWT charge authorization form. Since, you know, we've had our meeting with our staff, and Marla in our product department and Jonathan in our payment administration department, as a department heads, were advising us of some of the emails or tickets that you've been sending back. So billing address on file needs to match the shipping address on file, or it will decline or ask for a charge authorization form to be completely done in order for the order to be processed. So it is very important to understand that if you are going to be giving your credit card to somebody else to use to place an order, We will, in fact, be auditing it. We will be giving you a call, and we may request after $1,000 a GWT charge authorization form for you to fill out to be able to speed up the process. Of course, you can just fill this online and email it back to us. You can print it, fill it out, and send it to us, but it's important to make sure that you're following these steps in order to speed up the process for your order.
Actually, Sanaz, we've made this a lot easier, this particular step. There's no need for a charge authorization form for this. As long as the billing address on the file matches the shipping address, you don't need it. See, the difference between the world right now in Canada, US, is that in Canada, under 1,000, automatically, it's got a free, Canada, US, they got a free pass. Over 1,000, they get a quick check, quick phone call. For the rest of the world, we don't have under 1,000, over 1,000. For the world, we do automatically we do a manual check to make sure that that the transaction is legit. So here what we're talking about is previously, if the billing address on the file didn't match the shipping address on file, it would have declined automatically. That's how it was before. And when it declined, then we call you, we ask you for a charge authorization form. We've changed that format to something a lot simpler. Next.
All right, to simplify, well, like you said, you're kind of ahead of the curve. Now this is a manual process. So, of course, Ramin, as you mentioned, if the address does not match, WT will check and email the charge authorization form. So, again, we've made it a very, very easy, simple, duplicatable process.
Because before you had to actually go to the back office, find the form, fill it up, and again, a lot of people had a difficult time because especially in some parts of the world, we do have actually some LCs that are not really savvy to get in the back office, you know, to be able to download and print things. Now, if you have a situation where the billing and shipping address do not match, we actually email you the authorization form. If you don't have a history with us, again, if you have a history with us and we know who you are and we look at your track record and we look at your pattern and we see, again, you might not need this at all. But we have a lot of new LCs come on board every single day. If it's the first order, if the billing doesn't add up, doesn't match the shipping, so then what we'll do is that to make it simpler, we're going to email you the authorization form to sign and quickly send it back. And by the way, if you don't have a scanner and fax, you don't have to. All you got to do is just sign it, take a picture with your cell phone, and then send it to us. A picture of a signed form is the same. So this is something everyone can do. You don't actually need a scanner. You don't need a fax machine. Take a picture of the signed form and email it to us.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ramin. So I think that's basically some of the stuff that we wanted to share. Now, Ramin, I'm going to leave this slide up to you because effective as of now, you create this amazing new culture, which I'm super excited for everyone to hear about and to hear your energy and excitement for this amazing 7-day getaway.
Well, look, you know what? It's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer because what happens is that, you know, a lot of companies out there. I was actually today, Ted Newton sent out some of his reports, and he said there's a travel company out there that've gained 581% in growth over the past couple of years selling vacations. I mean, well, guess what? We give it away now for free. So I didn't, and it's one of the best services you can get anywhere in the world. Canadian company, A+ rating. It's a global destination, not just Niagara Falls, a couple of locations. You know, you got so many options. We talked about that, Sanaz and I the other day. You know, you can change it to, actually it was last night I think, we talked about that. You have other flexibilities for all-inclusive or airlines and so forth, catamaran on some type of other cruises, and so it's got so many options. Here's your chance, you know, to go ahead and completely get yourself to a whole new level of momentum. So we're, you know, giving this the respect and excitement it deserves. What's going to happen is that 10 days after you launch your Diamond, automatically this gorgeous button will show up in the back office that click here, and we want to start you up into going ahead and starting to prepare, register your travel, your getaway You know, whenever you want it, but we want to start you up. It's a beautiful button, and if you happen to start any other package and you upgrade within the 10 days, you don't even need the 10 days. And this will automatically pop up. That means you're ready to get started. The process is already planned. It's already in place. So one of these days, you're going to open your back office. You're going to have this gorgeous dream of a lifetime getaway. And you know, I keep saying this. You got to look. You got to understand this. For the masses, for most people, their budget is limited, so they can't just go anywhere. The location they go for vacation is based on what they can afford. And for most people, it's a few places they can go. This is the chance for anyone to go anywhere in the world they want to, whether it's in Africa, or it's in Europe, or it's Australia, wherever it is, they get a chance to go. Again, I'm 3,000 locations. I've not gone through the list yet, but there's tons of countries, and there's a lot of people that would dream to go to Italy. But you know, they know it's expensive. France, Spain, Portugal, it's expensive. It's euro, right? So now an average person can decide, you know what, we always wanted to go to France, the Eiffel Tower, and let's see what's available in France. Let's see what's available. I always wanted to go to Rome. Let's see what's available. It is a big deal. For some people, it's a life experience. And what I love about this incentive is that it's beyond just exciting the entrepreneurs who got involved in the household. It affects the whole family. It affects the spouse. It affects the children. Everyone's excited. So I'm saying, let's go make some families really happy with this package. Let's go and promote it the way it needs to be promoted. It's an unbelievable opportunity. To you and I, it might not be a big deal to travel. To a lot of people, it is. A lot of people love traveling. This added a huge element to your promotion, to your promoting efforts. And if I was an LC, so how I'm talking to you right now, I would be talking the same with every single person in my team who's not a diamond yet. Because every single upgrade represents CV, it represents a potential cycle, represents a potential $500 on my GWT True Cash card. So that's what is effective now. You see the beautiful button in the back office. You should be talking about with the same enthusiasm that I'm talking to you about it right now.
Absolutely, Ramin. And one of the big things, of course, is that the button has actually started to appear in everyone's back office effective as of today. So if someone in your team launched as a diamond, within their first 10 days of the cooling off period, they will get this button. And if they place an order earlier than 10 days, then the button will also appear. But Ramin, we got a new culture. We're starting as of tonight, and we want to get this on social media. We want everyone to go crazy, and it's Go for 10 challenge. Ramin?
Look, before we move on to this one, start culture. Let's have anyone who gets that button of the 7-day getaway appears in the back office. Let's have them capture screen it on Facebook and social media. Hey, I got my trip. I got my getaway. I got my getaway. Can you imagine? We got hundreds of GWT LCs talking about talking about I got my getaway. I got my getaway. I got my getaway. Imagine what that would do. The excitement. What is this about? Why is everybody getting a getaway? So let's start that culture. Remember, if it's important to you, it's important to people. If it's exciting to you, it's exciting to people. If it's urgent to you, it's urgent to people. If it's not important and exciting and urgent to you, it's not to anybody in your circle either. So they perceive the importance through you. All right. So with regards to this last slide, I said go for 10. Let's go ahead and change 10 families' lives. Let's make 10 families happier. Let's go out there, get 10 upgrades or get 10 diamonds. And of course, the side benefit, I like to call the side benefit, is that you could make up to $5,000 in commissions. Okay, up to, because depending on what type of package they upgrade on, depending on which leg they go on, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of cash benefits for you. But I don't think that should be the first reason. The first reason should be, let's go out there and let's go promote. Let's get 10 of our LCs who are not diamonds. Let's get them to diamonds so we can get the maximum benefit, maximum buy compensation plan, and they get this, and we get their families excited because of this unbelievable getaway. You can mix and match. You can get 5 of your people upgrade, get 5 new diamonds. People will come in. Obviously, this is an ongoing promotion, so every new diamond will get this automatically. However, what is time sensitive, and you've got to take this seriously, you've got to get on the phone and tell everybody in your team about it, is because for existing LCs, they only got about 2 weeks because we made it available to everybody. You got about 2 weeks after that, they lose their chance, and they're not going to be happy. It's your job as an upline to make sure everybody knows, hey, have you heard this? Have you upgraded it? What do you mean you haven't? What do you mean you haven't heard? Where have you been? This is the type of sense of urgency you want to put out. Come on, get your getaway now. Got 2 weeks. We got tens of thousands of people, many of them who are not diamond yet. They could be a gold, a palladium, and a retailer. This is their opportunity to get a hold of a getaway of a lifetime where they can choose where they go wherever in the world, and you have that key to that happiness and freedom by picking up the phone and calling them. Of course, as a side benefit, you could make up to $5,000 when you do this. You know, why stop at 10? You could do 15, 20. I mean, this is each sale here, each upgrade could represent up to $500 for you. So you can go on, create a cap club for yourself. Go, somebody like Maxwell can literally can go make $10,000 a week because of, you know, these upgrades. We've given you an unbelievable value proposition for people to take an action that's best for them. With this unbelievable $2,000 value proposition, of course, it puts lots of money in your pocket. So you want to make sure, start this culture. Listen, we got a couple of weeks before the existing LCs lose their opportunity. Smile and dial, call everybody, make team calls, momentum calls, get your people to have team calls. And again, let's go help 10 families get this getaway. And when they get this getaway, you've got a massive momentum in your team that's going to carry you for the rest of the year, as well as, of course, you get yourself some very generous commissions because of it.
Ramin, I am so excited and so wrapped up. Go for 10, the challenge. We talked about this. I already saw the Alberta team going absolutely crazy with it. I know they're on target for the international, for the October conference. All of them have that target to be able to either get 10 upgrades or, of course, to be able to get 10 people launched within the next 15 days as a Diamond LC, because, of course, they want to take advantage of not only the wholesale profit, but, of course, be able to help those families. And, you know, one of the things that you were talking about today at the office that I absolutely love was this amazing new incentive with the 7-day getaway. Doesn't only help the entrepreneur launch a business, but it helps the entire family because they can plan a getaway and a vacation together.
Absolutely, the element of fun for the whole family. Well, that's what we wanted to talk about tonight, Sanaz. Look, you know, it's nice. I know I just finished finishing at the office. You just left the office. You know what? Yet we're on the call, sharing and make our excitement and enthusiasm and training with our people to make their life easier, simplify, and also putting these promotions to, you know, add momentum to the business. We are on this call. This is what commitment is all about, folks. And we're displaying it, Sanaz and I, and you need to do the exact same thing for your team. Go out, work really, really hard, build an empire and benefit from it for the next 50 years. That's how this business works. So with that, I'll leave it up to you. Go for 10, start that culture, and make sure that everybody who gets this button capture screens it and promotes it.
Absolutely. I'm just going to go over some questions and comments for me. So we got from Ophelia, great, with a bunch of happy faces. Darcy Spreen, again, watch out for this gentleman because he's on fire. This is completely unreal. I cannot believe what you have done, Ramin. This is absolutely the world's best company to be with. I love sharing this with the masses. Thank you, Ramin and Sanaz, for the most amazing training and products. Our pleasure. I love it. From Aaron's Green, we had a team training tonight and we promoted, going for 10 challenge already before tonight's CDSE call. We are ready for you, Ramin Diamond Elite Team. And we had no idea that You named that the challenge, Go for 10 challenge. All right, next goes from Aaron. Ryan James says, is there a way to deposit money from my account to my e-wallet? Is there a way? Do you know what? Send a ticket, Ryan, to the office. They'll help you with that. Here. From Nolan.
Actually, there is. Your TrueCash card allows you to transfer funds not just from your account, but also from your credit card into your TrueCash card, or your e-wallet for that matter. The answer is yes. Send an email to Jonathan, and he'll direct you on that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And next one from Nolan Pili. This is, of course, from South Africa. Thank you, Ramin and Sanaz. Go for 10 challenge starting now. All right. Maxwell, clarify what is AOMA. Oh my God, I guess.
No, all out massive action.
Oh, well then. Ramin, you're just on top of your game tonight. I'm totally lost. Thank you for clarifying that.
Tonight for 26 years straight, yes.
All right. So, Debbie Boucher, thank you, Ramin and Sanaz, for always raising the bar and making improvements that will help us in the field to build our business strong. I am super proud of my Diamond team for staying on top of all of the promotions and upgrades and taking massive action. And of course, Ramin, we have, jam-packed lines. These lines keep on getting busier and busier by the week. And ladies and gentlemen, what I want to mention is that, for the past little while, myself, Ramin, have been doing a lot of the Sunday and Monday night calls. It is war on confusion. It's about making everything simplified. And it is about helping all of you to, of course, do amazing things in your business. Stacy Renata says, if your downline upgrades to Diamond, will you receive the wholesale profit? Yes.
The wholesale profit, yeah. Again, that's not really related to this. Before we had, remember this. Okay, let's not mix two things. The wholesale profit is not time sensitive. You always get that, right? It doesn't have to be. This trip though is time sensitive. It's within the first 30 days. So the answer is yes.
Beautiful, thank you. Sean Singh says, Go for 10 is on. I know who I'll be calling all the way to Ottawa tomorrow. Smile and dial. Wow, Abdul Razak is all the way on as well. Not only do we have Nolan, but we have Abdul Razak. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning for them. Abdul Razak says, it just keeps on getting better and better. I love my GWT business. Go for 10 mode activated. Thanks, Ramin and Sanaz. We love you. Let's go do it. All right, team, do it. Let's do it.
Actually, we're already seeing some upgrades today coming from Africa. So I know they're on top of their game.
Beautiful. All right, from Jessica Vine, amazing promotion. Let's burn it up, burn up social media, and make some waves in the entire profession. I love that, Jessica. Thank you, Ramin and Sanaz, with a big happy smiley face. Nikichi, wow, she's on as well from Nigeria. Great encouragement, especially for inactive LCs and new prospects. Thank you, Ramin and Sanaz. Great incentive. Excited. All right. Silas, oh my goodness, Ghana is on. Silas says, loving the new promos. Thank you, sir. Ramin and Sanaz, going for 10. Beautiful. I love it. Love it. Love it. Ramin, it's amazing that people come up with excuses to be on this call. The true servant leaders that care for their team are on this amazing CDSE call, of course, are committed. They're making sure that they're getting firsthand training of what we're sharing to be able to pass it on to their team. So I want to really congratulate everyone that's on this call for taking leadership, for caring for your teams, for wanting to be the first that's going to hear all of the announcements and news that's going to come up. And I do not see any more questions, but you know what? Let's start to promote the next event. Make sure you guys are attending. One thing I do want to reiterate is if you are a CDSC member and you have not bought your October conference ticket, why not? All of these Sunday night, all of the Phase 6 promotions that are on are not only going to be shared and trained, but most importantly, there's going to be new releases that are going to be done for October. As a CDSE Elite member, you want to make sure you are there. You're getting it firsthand, and most importantly, making sure every single person in your organization is going to be there. And I'm going to read a couple more again. Thank you so much, Ramin and Sanaz, always getting more excited and giving us more reasons to stay clued into our business. God bless you all. That's from Egan Obu. Thank you so much for that comment as well. And Ramin, all the comments of course, woohoos and thank you, Judy Jansen, woo, jumping up from our Alberta team. I'm a new diamond. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Ramin and SVP. You're both awesome. We thank you for this great promotion you're doing for us to take action. That's from Harriet, of course, from St. Martin. Eric says, does the 7-day go hand in hand for the Go for 10, or is it two different incentives?
The Go for 10 is not really an incentive, it's a challenge. Because what we want you to do to go and make 10 families really happy, get 10 active or not active centers really excited, and put $5,000, up to $5,000 into your jeans. So it's not really an incentive, it's a challenge for you to do some things for you, your pocket, and for some families.
Yeah, and of course, when it comes to, Eric, you getting maybe some old LCs to upgrade, that is going to put cash in your pocket. It's going to give volume in your genealogy, but it's also going to make 10 families very happy because when they upgrade, they're also going to get that 7-day getaway. All right, so Panina from Germany. I'm so excited to rock this promotion. Thank you, Ramin, for always giving us full energy. I love it. I am so proud to be a part of GWT. Philippines will be the next on the map. Again,
I know that I know that Panina is also in the travel business herself. That's what she does full time. So for Panina to call in and say, I'm so excited about this, you know this is a damn good incentive. So Panina, this is what you do every day. Being in the travel business, you probably have a lot of people that would want to have a free 7-day getaway. Smile and die, young lady.
Absolutely. Rose from USA says, thank you, Ramin, for showing us the value of our business. Then we got, this is so great. Such an amazing opportunity for the newly wedded couples as well. That's a great strategy as well. So again, Ramin, the list of comments goes on and on. Lots of excitement, lots of energy. We want it to be a quick, short, sweet, to the point. But most importantly, we want to make sure that you are duplicating everything that we're teaching you. Like Jessica said, let's go viral. Let's create a wave in social media and let the world know not only what an amazing company we are, but the insane promotions that our founder puts together. Ladies and gentlemen,
the last thing we want to talk about, the last thing I want to say is that this is how important it is to get on these calls. First of all, to qualify for these calls. Look at the valuable information, the training that you get on a weekly basis. The CDSE call is simply awesome. All right, so you want to make sure, qualify if you're not there, you get your people to qualify, promote this calls. You got to get to Diplomat. You got to get on these calls. Opportunity for you to get their questions and ask it on this call. Also, be able to directly be in touch with the corporate team, Sanaz and myself and the top leaders. So again, this is how important this call is. We've made it available to you. Congratulations for being on this call, especially faraway markets that's early in the morning or middle of the night, like Australia or Nigeria, or Africa, and so Silas and Ghana and whoever else. And I know in Europe, in Panina, and this is like 3, 4 in the morning for them. This is how important this call is. You have it. We're here for you. Good night from Toronto.
Ramin, I have one more question to answer, and I think I can probably answer it. It's from Tony W. Thank you again, Ramin and Sanaz. So excited. Quick question, and I'll see who's about to upgrade to a diamond. Wants to confirm whether his getaway can be used for the Caribbean conference in St. Lucia. And Tony, the answer is once the LC upgrades, they will get basically their getaway code. Again, it's based on availability, and if there is availability, absolutely they can do it. But again, it is a short period of time. They do have 2 years to use the trip, but of course, if there is availability, they can use it towards the conference in St. Lucia for their stay. Yes. All right. Other than that, there's more comments and I should say comments. All the questions have been answered. We love you all. We appreciate all your amazing and kind gestures and comments. Team, let's go for the 10 challenge. Let's make some 10 families happy with the 7-day getaway. Make 10 people excited to be able to reach their financial goals. And most importantly, let's get 10 upgrades in the next 15 days. It does expire September the 17th for all of your old LCs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time. Wishing you an amazing night. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.